Hi, it's Esther Armada, and if you have landed on this page, I want to congratulate you for taking this step towards learning about better health. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about oxidative stress, how it impacts your health, what it is, and what you can do about it. But before I go any further, I want to introduce my friend and business partner, Lisa Sauer. And she is amazing. She is so dynamic. She loves educating others about oxidative stress and how this impacts your health. And Lisa, if I'm just going to hand it over to you, if you can just share your background, perhaps how you've learned about oxidative stress. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you really understood it and the impact that it had on our health, right?
Oh, absolutely, Esther. Thank you very much for having me with you this morning. This is absolutely brilliant. I was introduced to this through my younger sister. Now, she knows that I'm a nurse, and I'm particularly passionate about health and wellness and the preventative side of health and wellness. So
Mhm.
she brought this information to me, and she just thought I was going to flip my switch and get so excited and just embrace it wholeheartedly. And I sort of said to her, okay, I can see you're excited, but what does this do? And she said, it protects the body against oxidative stress. And I went, okay. And there was this really long, awkward pause because in my whole university education, I did not get taught about oxidative stress. So I kind of had this moment in my head where I was thinking, well, I don't understand why that's such a big deal. If oxidative stress was a big deal, I would know about it already. So I was a little bit naive and I kind of didn't listen to her from that point onwards. I thought, well, if this was really the breakthrough she's talking about, it's coming to me by my little sister. It's about something I don't know anything about. No, you know what? I'm just going to let her enjoy her excitement. And really that's where it sat for a while. But thankfully, she's one of the most patient people in the world. She literally would send me links to research papers and doctors talking about why they had joined the business and why they were excited. And I got really curious because for those of us who know, most doctors aren't open to, natural therapies, or if they are, not sort of ones aimed at oxidative stress. And so I got it curious enough that I would looked into it, and Esther, oh my goodness, it is something everybody needs to know about. It is literally high levels of oxidative stress are literally linked to everything you do not want. It's that big a deal. So I'm so glad that you guys have found this page and you're getting educated. It's essential.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So I'm just going to move on to this slide. And this slide, I love it because it is for us visual learners. It says a lot. So can you explain this slide to us?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really passionate about teaching people about their bodies. We forget that we are made up of trillions and trillions and trillions of cells. So we look at our hands and we go, oh yeah, it's a hand. Or we look at our faces in the mirror and we go, what's a head? But no, deeper than that, we are trillions of cells. So we have brain cells, we have skin cells, we have cardiac cells. Our bodies are made up of trillions of cells. So this slide is a great reminder to people about the types of cells we have. Now, those cells will renew and rejuvenate over time. The reason that's so important is if you have a little look at that box down there on the right, you'll have a look at the bottom line, you'll see a normal healthy cell in the body. You can see it's round, it's symmetrical, it looks really good, it's strong and it's functional. That's a normal healthy cell. What happens is we have an exposure to what we call free radicals. Now, most people's understanding of free radicals are that they're the bad guys and antioxidants are the good guys, right? Because we all joke about the glass of red wine or the blocks of chocolate that we have being really great for us. Totally are. You should keep them in. But but they're the good guys, and that's how we understand free radicals, right? So an excess of free radicals in the body actually physically damage the cells of our body. So they cause a cell with what we call cellular damage. And that's that manky looking cell you can see far on the right down the bottom. Now, oxidative stress is known as three different terms. They all mean the same thing. It's cellular damage, oxidative stress, or free radical damage. Those three terms are pretty much synonymous, meaning the same thing. So you could understand that if we've got a body that's made up of trillions of cells and it's renewing and rejuvenating on a regular basis, we want cells that look like the ones on the left, because that means we're going to have a body that's strong, functional, and hey, it's going to look good, because that's kind of important too.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is such a powerful picture here, and I love the Lego analogy. Can you elaborate on that?
It was so important to me, Esther, that we were able to really convey that analogy of what oxidative stress is and how it operates in the body. And I thought to myself, I actually woke up at 3 o'clock one morning going, oh, Lego. That's seriously how I can explain it. So most of us are familiar with Lego. I mean, heck, our kids usually have it strewn all over the house. I don't know who's stood on Lego here, but it's painful. So we all know Lego. Absolutely, me too. And so Lego, if you were to go to the shops and you were to buy a whole Lego kit, then say it was a Lego house and you took that kit home and you wanted to open up that Lego kit, put all those pieces on the table, you would need every single one of those pieces in order to be able to make that house, right? And so in order for that to happen, you want all of those blocks to look and to be structurally the way that they need to be. They need to be good, healthy, strong blocks, like the cells of our body. And our bodies are no different. So we're made up of trillions and trillions of cells. We need those cells in order to function and be strong. And that was kind of where I went with that. But if we have a look at the next slide, it's a great visual for what those cells look like. So you can see if we equate a normal Lego block with a normal healthy cell, and then we equate that really sad looking block there on the right with a damaged cell or a cell with oxidative stress. Now, imagine if you had that kit, that Lego house kit, and all of your blocks that you needed were on the table. And then I went over and I took a third of those pieces and I took them out to the driveway and I hit them with a hammer, which is kind of like exposing them to free radicals and causing damage. So I brought you back all pieces that looks like that block on the right. Now, if I said to you, awesome, go ahead and build your house, can you imagine what that would look like? I mean, those pieces don't fit together properly. If you were even capable of making that house, and you could probably make some kind of form of that house, it wouldn't be functional. It wouldn't be strong. It sure as heck wouldn't look good. And that's exactly the same as what happens inside the body, because when we've got high levels of damaged cells, and that's what our body's using as building blocks to repair and rejuvenate, it makes sense that over time that's going to cause issues.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense to me, because if you're saying that a cell that our bodies rejuvenate and our cells rejuvenate and replicate themselves, you want the cell to replicate a healthy cell, not a cell that's riddled with oxidative stress.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely.
I love that Lego analogy. And so, gosh, if you can elaborate on here about high levels of oxidative stress and what it leads to.
Absolutely. Do you know, you don't have to be a health professional or a scientist to understand if you've got a high number of cells in your body, so a high number of cells with oxidative stress, it's literally linked to everything that you don't want. And it's going to lead to rapid aging, malfunction, and the development of disease. It's just, that's what's going to happen. It just makes sense, you know. So it's really essential that we are making sure that the way we live our lives and the things that we're physically doing to our body is encouraging good, healthy, normal cells and, you know, reducing that risk for having a high number of damaged cells.
Right.
It's absolutely essential.
So that's the thing, is that with this slide here, if you can elaborate on it, it's, I mean, we just don't live in the same world that we did 100 years ago, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I often tell people, you know what, we're not living in the world that our parents and grandparents lived in. You know, you just even have a look at how fast, not just technology like phones and computers and things like that, because we know how fast that's advanced, but even things like our food. You know, I know that my grandparents still grew their own vegetables. They still cooked from scratch. We tend to use a lot of pre-packaged and processed foods and fast foods in our, you know, daily consumption. And so therefore, we are by proxy exposed to higher levels of oxidative stress, because basically anything that you put into the body that is unnatural, anything you expose your body to that's unnatural, will create more free radicals. The more free radicals you have, the more cell damage you end up having, therefore the more oxidative stress you have. So if I was to run through just on a daily basis some of the things that we're exposed to that we use every single day. So you've got your skincare, you've got your deodorants, you've got your perfumes, you've got makeups. In fact, any lotion or potion you put on the skin, with the skin being the largest organ of the body, so that includes your sunscreens and your insect repellents. We've also got things that we consume, so anything with artificial colours, flavours, preservatives, any fast foods, the water we're drinking and any contaminants, including chlorine that they use in the water, causes more oxidative stress. You've got exposure to physical and emotional stress. And of course, with the way everybody works these days, there's a lot more of that that's going on. Too little, too much exercise will both cause more oxidative stress. Exposure to GMO ingredients, that's a concern, because sometimes they're not even labeled and we end up consuming them without knowing. Environmental factors like car exhaust. So you go for that healthy walk, but you're being exposed to car exhaust in the process. But the thing that concerns me the most is our exposure to what we call EMFs, or electromagnetic frequencies. And you can actually go and do your own separate research on high EMF exposure and oxidative stress, and it will shock you with the amount of research that's been done linking the two. So EMFs are, your mobile phones, your Wi-Fi, anything that you carry on in and around you. I mean, I know my computer has 10 computers in it. Sorry, my car has 10 computers in it. Is that not crazy? We're just living in a world, like, you wake up, your house has Wi-Fi, your kids go to school, they've got Wi-Fi there, you go to work, you got Wi-Fi there, you go to the shops, the cinemas, the restaurants, you're exposed to this 24/7. And like I said, do some research, because it's quite horrifying, the link between the two.
Yeah, and essentially what you're saying is it's basically oxidative stress is unavoidable, regardless of
unavoidable. Even before those, Esther, even before all of those things that I just mentioned, if you eat, breathe, or drink, you create oxidative stress. Isn't it ironic? But our bodies are amazing. So where we have a system where we create oxidative stress, our body has an amazing way of being able to negate that effect. But you see, like anything with health, it all comes down to balance. And for this particular situation, the world we're living in is just tilting us out of balance.
Right. Now, I mean, can you explain this? Because there are solutions for oxidative stress, and on this slide, we see direct antioxidants and nrf2 activation. So can you explain what nrf2 activation is?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite questions to answer. I get it all the time. So I'll explain this to people and they go, so antioxidants are good? And I'm like, yes, they are. And they're going, well, that's awesome, because I eat a diet rich in antioxidants. And I smile and I go, okay, well, I just need to explain something to you, because any antioxidant that you consume through your mouth that passes through the digestive system, that's what we consider a direct antioxidant. Now, a direct antioxidant can include your wonderful array of colourful fruits and vegetables, but it also includes supplements that are considered direct antioxidants as well. So a direct antioxidant neutralizes on a ratio of 1:1 and done. That's it. We can have up to 3.72 quintillion free radicals in the body at any given moment. So everybody varies. That figure is not set in stone, but we can have up to that number at any given time. And with that number, that's a heck of a lot of direct antioxidants you would need to consume daily in order to make an effective difference in that. So what we want to talk about is nrf2 activation. Now, I said to you guys before, when we talk about balance and we talk about our body being able to negate those effects, well, we do that through what we call our antioxidant defense system. The difference between our system that our body is able to manufacture itself and a direct antioxidant is we're talking about antioxidant enzymes created within the body. Now, an antioxidant enzyme can neutralize up to 1 million free radicals. That's why our defense system is infinitely more powerful than anything that we can consume.
Mhm. Oh my gosh. When I heard this information, I was absolutely just blown away. And so, you know, we have studies about nrf2 activation. I think, in fact, if you go on pubmed.gov, that's the repository for all medical research. I believe there's over 10,000 studies done on nrf2 activation. So can you elaborate on this slide?
Yeah, absolutely. nrf2 activation, well, as you can see, Washington State University did study the nrf2 pathway specifically. In its concluding remarks, it said nrf2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. That is massive. That is a massive statement. It's huge. Now, just to add to that, 4 years ago, when I actually took a look at oxidative stress and learned what it was, I looked on pubmed.gov and I typed oxidative stress into that search engine, and over 70,000 research articles came up on oxidative stress and a whole variety of different issues. And I thought, wow, that's a lot of research, because, for anyone who knows research papers, they can be anything between 10,000, 50,000 plus per paper. So that's a lot of money that was focused there. Mm-hmm. But now, fast forward 4 years, there's over 200 and something odd thousand research articles on oxidative stress. And so the money that's being focused into research, into oxidative stress, and then it's a natural progression to go, if we know oxidative stress is bad, nrf2 is the answer. And so nrf2 alone, the research increase in that is absolutely massive. And all of the papers are coming back with conclusions similar to this. It's crazy good.
Yeah. And this slide here, this is something that just completely blew my mind as well. You can explain this as well.
So Oregon State University also researched the nrf2 pathway, and in their conclusion, they said when it finds a problem, nrf2 essentially goes back to the cellular nucleus and rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on up to 200 genes that are responsible for cell repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant protection, and other actions. In their report, the scientists call it a longevity assurance factor, which we know that the National Institute of Aging, they had conducted a 10-year study, and they compared pharmaceuticals as well as a lot of individual natural ingredients. Some of those we're very familiar with, like green tea and turmeric. They compared high doses of those. They did it for 10 years. The whole point of their study was to determine not only what could extend lifespan, but improve quality, because there is 0 point to extending lifespan if there is no quality attached. And of course, Protandim was a blended supplement that was in that study and came out as being the only supplement proven to extend the health span of male mice by 7%, which was massive. So you see Oregon State University with this longevity assurance factor in their concluding remarks, and then you see the NIA and their study and what they found with male mice, and you're just going, it's not coincidence.
Yeah. And I think that's the key as well, is it's not how long you live, it's the quality of years.
Yes.
We want to be here and healthy for our family, live the life that we want for everything that it has to offer. So it's about quality of life and doing everything that we can, obviously within our power, to be able to live that life, right? So when I was presented with this study, I was just so excited. I really wanted to learn all about nrf2 activation and how I could benefit from it. So in conclusion, oxidative stress, I mean, everyone has it, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
It impacts us so greatly. So, gosh, I mean, do you have anything else to say about oxidative stress?
Just to say that we know that there is a pathway where we can protect the body against oxidative stress. We know that pathway's name is nrf2 activation. And I would encourage everybody to learn a heck of a lot more about it, because especially in the day and age that we're living in, technology isn't going away. It's increasing rapidly. And so I believe that we literally have the solution to a problem most people don't realize they have yet, and that protection against oxidative stress is 100% essential.
Okay, great. I have to say that when I had learned about this information, I wanted to find out how I could lower my oxidative stress and activate that specific pathway. That was game changing for me. It was game changing for me in terms of my health, in fact, my entire family's health, and positively. So I'm a better mom now because I have more energy. I'm sleeping better and I'm just feeling better. So guys, if you want to know how Lisa and I address oxidative stress and how we activate our nrf2 pathway naturally, make sure there should be a button here somewhere on this page. Click below and it'll take you to the next video and I can share what we are currently doing, okay? So thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate your time and we will see you soon and we'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.